Hey everyone, Mr. Klassen here. Great to see you. I am creating a video today to talk about some rhythm strategies, practice strategies for rhythm. I'm pretty new at this whole video thing, so please bear with me. It's not going to be perfect, but hopefully it's going to be a way that you can get some learning still done at home, even during this time of being away from each other physically. So yeah, in this video we're going to talk about a couple of rhythm strategies that you can use when you're practicing at home. You come across a pattern and you're not sure how to accomplish it, or you try and practice it but it doesn't work out and you're not sure why. There's lots of different reasons that could be. Rhythm is one of them, so we'll talk about different ones in different videos, but right now we're going to talk about some rhythm strategies. These are things that have worked for me in my experience with students and in my personal experience too. It doesn't mean that they're the only way to practice rhythms or the only strategies that'll work, but they're ones that you can try and that I've found have been useful. So one of the things that I often hear from students is, how does this rhythm go? Just tell me how it goes and then I'll be able to play it. It's important to be able to play rhythms by ear, which is what you're doing when you say, how does it go? And then somebody plays it for you and then you can play it back. I think that's an important skill, but we also want to develop your skill in reading and decoding rhythms. So there's playing by ear and then there's reading and decoding. Both are important for musicians, and I think the decoding aspect is often a lot tougher for people because it's not as natural. We're reading it and then having to translate it into something we understand and then play it, whereas playing it by ear, it's just kind of coming in and we can quickly play it and it just seems natural to us. So we want to also work on decoding rhythms, but that doesn't mean that it's not good to also play them by ear. So here's an excerpt that we're going to use today to demonstrate some of these concepts. This particular excerpt is from The Lost Tomb by Sean O'Loughlin. It's a piece that the Parkside Grade 7s are playing right now, and this excerpt is from the last 4 bars of the piece. It's going to be the trumpet part, but this applies to any instruments, no matter what part you're playing. You can apply these same concepts to your rhythmic patterns in any piece. I picked a fairly simple rhythm so that everybody can have an entryway into this, but older students, you can apply this in any setting with any complex rhythms that you encounter as well. So that snippet is coming onto the screen now, and here's me playing it, the last 4 bars. 1, 2, 3. So strategy number 1, or the first step, is to write in the counting. You'll see the snippet coming onto the screen now, and so what I want you to notice is that the counting has been written in now. So use a pencil, which you always have in your binder at all times, right, to write in the counting. What we want to do is we want to have one item, either a beat or a part of a beat, one item per note or rest when we write in the counting. For long notes or rests, I use kind of however many beats are in that note or rest, and then I underline it if it's a long note or bracket it if it's a rest. It's a little bit beyond the scope of this particular video to explain exactly how to write in the counting, but we've worked on that in class quite a bit, and I'd encourage you to email me with any questions if you have them, but for this video we're just assuming that you know how to kind of write in the counting, and what we want to do is write in one item, either a beat or an and or a part of a beat on for each note or rest. So strategy 2, or part 2, is say the rhythm while keeping a steady pulse. Your steady pulse could be something you keep with your body. I recommend doing like a heel on all the beats, and preferably a lap pat finger snap on 8th notes. It could also be a metronome. Sometimes it's hard to do everything at once, the lap pat finger snap and saying it. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you could use a metronome on your phone or wherever. For today I'm going to do the lap pat finger snap, and I'm going to use the syllable da. I recommend using something with a D or a T because then it transfers to how you articulate on your instrument. Some people will use ba or la, but it just doesn't transfer as well to your instrument, I don't think. So I recommend using a D or a T I'll use da for now, and I'm just going to do the lap pat finger snap and say the rhythm on da. 1, 2, ready, and da 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 da. It's important to keep that pulse going steady through the whole thing. One other thing you can do when you're doing this step is you could say the actual counting that you wrote down earlier. So you could keep the pulse going and just say the counting. That would sound like this. 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and. That doesn't transfer as well to articulating on the instrument again, so that's why it's nice to use the D or T syllable, because I think that transfers best. Strategy number 3, or the third part, is to isolate the rhythm using a single pitch. We've done this in class before. Often it makes sense to use the first note of the excerpt, so in this case I'm going to use the F sharp, the trumpet F sharp that is, and I'm just going to play the rhythm in time, but I'm not going to worry about changing notes. I'm just going to stay on that same F sharp through the whole thing and just make sure I nail the rhythm. I'm going to keep a steady pulse going in my head and with my heel as I do it. 1, 2, 3. Strategy 4 is to actually airband, so to get the notes or fingerings, the fingerings or slide positions while you're actually keeping steady time and saying the rhythm. So since we're working on rhythm right now, we want to not just get the fingerings, but we want to get the fingerings at the right time. Because rhythm is when do you play, what time in the bar, where are you supposed to put those notes. So we're going to get the fingerings or slide positions at the correct time while we're saying it. So I'll come up close here, you can see my fingers, and so I'm going to, maybe I'll hold it this way, I will do the fingerings while I say it. Now this way is better. 1, 2, ready, and da 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 da. And the fifth and final strategy, or the fifth and final step that we're going to look at today, is play it slowly. So we've done a couple different strategies that we haven't even really played the whole excerpt yet, but we've been preparing it, and now we're ready to play it. So we're going to play it, but we're going to go slow enough that we don't make any hesitations. Okay, this is a really important part. If you play it too fast and you make mistakes, that'll just become a habit, and then you won't be able to play through it any better than you could before. But if you play it slowly so that you can nail it every time and then gradually speed up as you go, then you're going to be developing good habits and you'll be able to perform it accurately. It's much more effective to play it correctly slow rather than trying to go fast and not quite getting it. So I'm going to play it slowly and then gradually speed up. A little bit faster. And at tempo. Okay folks, thanks a lot for watching. Again, I'm pretty new at this whole video thing, so thanks for being patient with me as I try and figure things out and make it work like I'd like it to. You can always feel free to reach out to me with questions. Email me, klassender@blsd.ca, or get in touch with me via phone, whatever works for you. Yeah, hope you have a great day. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.